we're back on the puzzle piecing channel. It's been a minute, you know. I've got a different recording style. I guess I'm just sat down here, like in the corner of my room, in a different room as well. And we're back to making these videos. It's been like half a year, 6 months. We started this channel in April of 2025. And the last video was uploaded on July 2025. And it's now January 2026. So it's been literally half a year. And I've missed making these videos because it's kind of therapeutic for me. I just get to speak my mind. I write down notes on my phone occasionally, and then I'll just kind of like, if I'm thinking of something in the moment, I'll write it down on my phone, and then, I might use it later on to make a video. And that's kind of how I come up with this content. So, but the reason for my disappearance is life, right? Life things, life becomes trying and testing, and in these moments of trials and tribulations, I had to take a break, I've also got like a new phone as well since then. So it's going to be a little bit higher quality in terms of the actual, videography of this. But all in all, same, all I can say is that I'm just back to it. I'm in a better place. So I feel like the topic of today's video, and obviously I'm looking down at my phone, is I'll say that you can't put anything past a woman. What I've experienced over the past couple of months is that obviously some of you guys will know from previous videos that I've mentioned I've been speaking to this girl, still speaking to the same girl. And so, we're cool. And, we've been speaking for a while, and probably about like 8 months, 9 months, something like that. And so, for the first few months, we was just kind of talking. It was all text. It was no phone calls, anything like that, really. And then we had a break in August, right? In August, we just took some time off, and then we came back in September. But it was all the way through August, so it was probably like early August, right, until mid to late September. So it was about a couple of weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, a month. And during this time, I think the reason for, I'll not, or can I don't know. There's a couple of different reasons, right? But we just essentially had some time off just to, minimize telling or going into all the details. I'll just say that we had some time off, but we weren't seeing anybody else. And now we're back together, right? And now we're calling a lot more, which is something we didn't do before. So I guess it's a level up or a step up. And obviously we're still texting as well. And, in this time period, I was thinking, where was I going to go with my life? Because I was thinking, right, YouTube. I had to stop doing YouTube for a while because, I'll just be honest, I didn't have any money at all, and my phone broke down, which was the phone I was using to make YouTube videos like this. It broke down, and then I was like, I don't even have any money to like get this fixed or get a replacement or anything like that. So I had to, in that moment, it then just boiled down to like, okay, what am I going to do with my life? Because I'm doing YouTube right now. I've got, intellectual property uploaded on the internet, and so over time that can get views. I know I don't get that many views right now. My highest viewed video is like 16 views. Highest viewed short is probably 1,300. And I got another channel where I have like 26 subscribers, like a music channel. It's called Romeo Remix. I just sing over different instrumentals and basically like cover them and make cover songs and stuff like that. But that's a separate channel. And so with this channel, it's not as successful as that one. That one has a little bit of like somewhat of a fan base. This one, I'm still looking to build up at least some type of audience on this channel that I don't have yet, but it'll come in time. And so, I was just thinking like, damn, what am I going to do in my life? Like I'm not really doing anything that could help for me to make money faster and make money now. And I was thinking about that, and I was just like, man, YouTube is going to take a while to take off because you got to build an audience. You got to get a certain amount of views to be able to monetize and live comfortably. And I was like, look, I can do all of this whilst also, doing something that is more on the business side, because that's the content side, but then also matching it up with something that's more on the business side. Like selling a product, providing a service, that sort of thing. And so these are things that I've implemented now. And so this is why, like, I'm coming back after such a long break, because I had to just figure my life out, I guess some people would say I'm somewhat young. So, I don't blame myself for it. It's just growing pains. And I've had a lot of growth since then. And I'm a lot closer with, my partner than we were at the start, even though we were quite close at the start. But um, I feel like we still had a lot of issues, kind of like just little petty toxic behaviors here and there that we don't have now. We kind of have high level of respect for each other. My partner went through a journey. She like lost a lot of weight and stuff like that. She got herself in the gym, got herself more focused and motivated. And she still has body fluctuation issues and stuff like that. But we all do, Like I get body dysmorphia when I'm in the gym and I'm lifting and I'm like, yeah, I'm putting on more muscle, but sometimes I look in the mirror and I still see like the skinny kid that I was a few years ago in the frame, and it's just like, you know, but you just got to be kind of grateful for the progress that you are making, and that on the next day you can continue to make more progress. If it isn't enough for that day, you've always got another day, right? Unless you pass away, but we're not really thinking about passing away. If it happens, it happens. Who cares? All the lights go off, and we don't have any more pain. So that's the way I look at it. But for as long as we got life, we got pain. We have to use that pain, and if we go through periods of lack of pleasure or whatever it is, use it to do something productive. Because that's really what matters at the end of the day, your performance. And so I was proud of her for that. And she's eating a lot healthier and all that type of stuff. I am too. I'm off of like I was taking like hormonal pills for like hair loss and stuff like that. I'm off of that type of stuff because that was messing my mind up as well. And hence why I wear the hat. And so a lot has changed. And I'm earning more money now, got my own business running up, do some drop shipping, reselling, e-commerce, that type of thing. But I also run like social media like pages and stuff like that. Try to turn my page into like a promotional agency. That's what I'm working on as well. Working on music, been releasing, dropping stuff on YouTube. I got another channel, it's called Reels, and I basically just release music under that name. But yeah, trying to see if I can put together a visualizer, but and also, yeah, just a lot of projects going on, that pretty much for the both of us. And I think we kind of met each other in a much healthier place now, and we're a lot closer. And there's still trials and tribulations, like with every relationship, with every story, but we're definitely like leveling up. I can feel the level up, and we're going to continue to do more, and close the distance over time. That's what it's about. But I'll say you can't put anything past a woman. Back to the title of the video, because that was a bit of a like detour from the original concept of what this video was supposed to be, but it was just more sort of like a life update. But I think like the reason I say you can't put anything past a woman is because I was going through a time of hardship, and I wasn't being the nicest to her, making certain remarks and things like that I had to apologize for. But it was because I didn't feel comfortable within myself. Like I had kind of let myself go in a sense, like gaining weight and stuff like that. Like, going through a period of fasting and not having food in the home and all this type of stuff, and kind of feeling weak and low in energy. And I just kind of took that out on her for like a while, probably for like a month. And she was kind of just waiting around to see if I was going to go back to like my old bubbly, happy self. The guy that I appeared to be when we first started talking, right? And I ran into some issues, and I started to turn into like a different guy, like a worse version of myself, like a lower version, less energetic version of myself. And I wasn't really, very pleasant to like, to deal with. So, and I was going through issues that I wasn't, resolving quick enough. And I had to acknowledge it to myself and be like, okay, when she, stopped replying or whatnot, and it was like, oh, it's been a few days, she ain't texting me back like she usually does, like something's different. I'm like, yeah, what's different is me, like I don't have this like happy, bubbly energy and this creative, productive energy that I had before, because now I'm going through a period of like fasting where I'm not eating and I have low energy and I'm irritable and everything is like a chore to me. And like it's like And I realized, oh, I'm that guy that lost myself. And if I don't fix up my act, she's gonna end up going and leaving and finding another guy that I used to be, who is that for her right now. And I didn't want to allow too much time to pass for her to be able to find that, and then I wouldn't be able to come back anymore. Of course, I'd be able to get another woman, but I would always think in the back of my mind, even if I got another woman, the type of person I am, I would always think in the back of my mind, like, damn, what would that have been if I just stayed on my shit, or if I just came back, and gotten back, like, back on that path quick and recovered, what I once had, like, because is the next one is this next one even going to stack up to what the original could have been? And I would have been making that comparison because I overthink a lot like that. And so I just got on my stuff. Like, I really just had to, like, lock in and be like, okay, I got things that I need to fix in my life. Like, I need to actually plan out, what do I want to do? Like, do I want to just do content? Do I want to just do business? Do I want to do a mix of both? And, like, how valuable is my time? Like, we have 24 hours in a day. What can I be doing in a day? Could I be making content and doing business? Yes, I can. What types of businesses do I want to do? What type of content do I want to create? And pretty much, pour all of my creativity, creative energy into a product, right? And multiple products at that, if that's what's required, if that's where my interests lie. And I figured that out, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I know what I need to do. And I literally just started to take those steps. And I'm like, I'm in a better place now. I have money consistently. I'm still reinvesting a lot of it into my business. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not, obviously not rich or anything like that, but that is the goal. Absolutely. And I know I'll get there because what the things that I'm doing actually has the potential, a strong one, to get there. You just have to be consistent, even on days where you don't get the same results as you do on the previous day or the following day. Like, you might get big results in one day, and the next day you'll get next to nothing results, and you can't let that throw you off of, like, oh, so I was only good that time, but I wasn't good this time, because I can see the statistics have some volatility. But the reason the statistics have volatility is not necessarily because of the quality of the output is changing, but more so just due to what the market, the way the market is valuing it. But if it's valuable, it's going to catch on regardless. So I just, have that in mind, and I just full steam ahead, bull run. I'm just going crazy. I'm investing in the stocks. I do a little bit of gambling and stuff like that, because if you gamble, I don't know, 50 pence on a football game, and you put a couple of different bets on, like a match result or both teams to score or whatnot, you could get, like, in all of that in combination, you could get like a couple £100 back. So that's well worth my 50 pence, But you gotta, obviously gamble strategically, and be smart about it. Don't waste all your money, But yeah, just been learning and catching on to a lot of things, and everyday learning, and not quitting not quitting, and keep on going, doing the things I'm doing until the day is done, and it gives me a huge sense of fulfillment, and I just feel a lot better. I've been making a lot more gains in the gym as well, because I started to earn more, was able to go out there and buy whole foods and not have to eat, like, bullshit like snacks and things like that, that don't really help your immune system. I'm eating healthy foods, whole foods, like chicken, steak, beef, salmon, all that type of stuff that's good for your immune system and strengthens it, over time, especially as I'm Asian, I don't eat like a teenager anymore. So just a lot of life things that I'm learning, and yeah, but it was a hard moment I was going through. Like, when we had that break from August to September, obviously my girl, she had her journey. She went to the gym, lost a lot of weight, you know what I'm saying? She got her diet right, started cooking more, because she's always known how to cook, but got lazy, was eating takeaways and stuff like that. But over time, she kind of, she just locked in during that time. And I was pretty locked in as well. And, we both would have been extremely curious about what the other person was doing in the moment. But it was just kind of hard because we kind of had to go through some things alone, whilst also longing to be together. So I think it was it's just it's just a chapter in our story. I feel like guys would be like, oh, if your girl goes on a break, or like say she wants a break, or my girl didn't necessarily say it, she just kind of implied it from the lack of responsiveness, right? And so I just kind of took that as like, okay, I see that I'm not like the dude that was initially attractive to her, and I'm not fulfilling my full potential like I was in the beginning. I was consistently making YouTube videos, I was putting out, stuff, and for what I knew, for the level of intellect and information I had at that time, I was like following my maximum potential at that point, you know. But I've had this break, and I've actually come back with more intellect and more knowledge, and now I'm going like 10 times harder now than I was ever before, But and so that's kind of how I went back. I just kind of texted her randomly, like we probably had this break again, as I say before, like early August to like late September, right? And in late September, like her birthday had passed, and I was just like, no, let me just message. I messaged. She literally looked at it straight away, like within 5 minutes, probably less than that, like 2 minutes or something, and replied. I said something like, "Oh, you don't care," or something like that. Not even on, but the energy behind it was different. See, if I'd said that in August, I would have meant it, but it's not. But it would have been like more like nefarious type of vibe, like diabolical type of vibe, like I'm really trying to piss her off. But this text, it was more so like, I know where I'm going with my life, I know where I'm taking it, so I'm cool. I'm just kind of like, you don't care, you know. Just as a joke, to see what she said. She was like, "Oh, you don't as well." And I was like, "Ah, okay, Spider-Man meme." We're kind of just like looking back at each other, and it's like, okay, I know what you're on. So it was cool, and yes, ever since then we just kind of been hitting it off again. It feels like a second honeymoon, you could say. So I feel like that's the way relationships go, like real relationships, not these relationships that people be like trying to uphold on social media, where it's just all superficial and it's only ups and no downs. Like, yeah, bro, of course, because that's how life works, isn't it? Yeah, everything's just up all the time. Like, don't work like that. And even if you have money, it's not gonna work like that, mate. Like, your girl's going to feel different hormones, have her cycles, and she's going to feel different ways and different times. And so are you, even as a man. Like, we got hormones too. Granted, we don't get cycles like women do, like, periods and all that, menstruation. But, you know, we got a lot of testosterone. So on days that we have high testosterone and low testosterone, like, we feel the dip and we feel different. It's the same thing because we're human. And so although men and women, yeah, are different, there's not all that much difference between us, because we're capable of feeling a lot of the same emotions, like, quite consistently. So, like, if I feel petty, I know my girl's gonna feel petty, because if I do something to piss her off, and she knows that she can tell I'm trying to piss her off, she's gonna be able to do something to piss me off, because she knows what pisses me off already. So it's like, I already take the initiative as, you know, the leader within within our interaction, to be like, I'm not gonna do anything petty to piss her off, like on a conscious level. Subconsciously, I might, because naturally I have high testosterone. I could get cocky, and I'll just say something that in the moment when I'm saying it, I don't think it sounds a certain way until she reflects it back to me, and then I realize, oh yeah, no, you know what? I was tripping. Like, I was feeling that way in that moment. I'm not going to lie to you, but when when you relay it back, I can see where you have some concerns with that. So, and now that the moment has kind of passed, I don't necessarily look at it the same way anymore. So I do understand what you're saying, but yeah, it's just that I don't put anything past the woman, because even during that time, my girl, she was focused on herself, working on herself. Yeah, sure, but I know she had guys hitting her up in her DMs and stuff like that. She may have even entertained it to a certain degree, being like, text back. Oh, we'll see what happens. Maybe this guy will be, what I'm looking for after all, instead of the previous guy, which would have been me, right? And so, but I don't blame her for that, because it's kind of like, I get it. Like, I'm in a rough patch right now, and it's like, if over a certain amount of time I can't recover, then it only makes sense for you to move on, because it's not, it doesn't do you any good just kind of waiting, and not, seeing something start to formulate out of all that patience that you have. So, and I knew this in the back of my mind. So I was like, let me be realistic, not optimistic here. And yeah, I kind of got my stuff together. Started to set up a plan for like how I'm going to come in the rest of 2025 and 2026 onwards for the rest of my life. I kind of put this plan, and the plan is always changing and evolving too. You know, like I'm always adding things to it. So it's like I only get more productive over time. And that's kind of the way I was like, yes, this is the way you got to live. Because like if you want to get rich, you have to be like to a level, you have to be psychotic, you have to be psychotically creative, you have to have like multitude of endeavors, you know, because if you don't, like, it just minimizes your chance of getting rich. If you just doing like, if you completely focus on just one thing, you're working a 9 to 5 job, it's very rare that you're going to get rich from that. Like, yeah, sure, you might get rich in like 20 years or something like that, but bear in mind you're going to be 40 years old, and you missed out on all this time that you could have gotten rich if you had a couple of other things, including that, like side hustles or whatever, to help get you there faster, you know? So all of that is worth considering. And upon considering that, I'm like, why don't I give myself a 5x chance of getting rich as opposed to a 1x chance of getting rich? I give myself a 5x chance of getting rich. Does it not make more sense? Yeah, sure, it's going to be harder. And after the day's up, I'm going to feel more tired. And, but I'm also going to feel more accomplished because I'm like, you know what? There's a duality, there's a paradox within all of this. It's not black and white. And the problem with people is that they think life is completely black and white, and a lot of the times it's just somewhere in the middle, you know. And so I'm in a good place where I feel like I'm managing everything great to a great extent, and I don't feel that I'm gonna have any burnout or anything like that. So yeah, I'm Gucci, man, chilling. And so I always knew in the back of my head, like, yeah, she's going to, after some time, she will start to forget about me because it's already been, I'm already on a downhill spiral, you know. And um, you know, she still has that memory in the back of her mind of like the old version of me, and like, you know, the more upbeat version, not even the old version, but the more upbeat version of me. But she's recently been getting this downbeat version of me, and it just doesn't compare at all, you know. So I knew I had to fix that, and I really came back. And so you know, but it's a fight every single day. That's the point, you know. That's why to be in a relationship, like love and relationships, they are the hardest thing in life. I feel like it's the hardest thing. Like there's nothing harder than like being in a monogamous relationship, you know, where both sides are monogamous with each other. There's nothing harder than that, bro. Like it's crazy, you know. Every single day you got to choose to like love the person, you know, for all their flaws, for all their features as well. Like just, yeah, it's mad. um but yeah, I didn't want to potentially take the chance and potentially seeing some guy come along and take my spot, and then um without even having to put in half a, like, well, maybe not that, because he's probably put in more work, which is why he's able to take my spot. But what I'm saying is I didn't want someone to take my spot, and nah, nah. Like I was like, I need to work hard again, and work even harder than before to make sure I solidify myself as the top option, you know, because that's really what um dating is, right? It's you know, it can get animalistic like that, and I just used that to my advantage, and I was like, you know. So now I know I'm in a good place, but I'm not comfortable. I want to be in an even better place in all aspects of life, because it's only going to benefit the relationship as a whole, right? If I continue to level up in all these different areas. So that's what I'm focused on, truly. And so, yeah, but don't ever put anything past the woman. Don't think because she's been speaking to you for a while, right, that if you let yourself go, and you know you've let yourself go, you know you're doing yourself a disservice, you know, like there was something you were doing consistently, you were getting results from it, then you stopped doing it, and you stopped doing it too long, and now you think that, you know, she's just gonna stick there. And it's like, no, bro, you have to sort this out yourself, like man to man. It's the way things work. Women are not gonna tell, because they don't have the capability to tell you exactly what to do. They don't be knowing a lot of the time themselves. So it's like, if you don't know, then it's over with. You know, they're just gonna go to someone who knows, because they don't know. And so they're always looking for someone who knows. So you have to know, you have to be like, you know, you have to acknowledge it to yourself. It's okay to mess up from time to time. A woman ain't gonna leave you because you messed up like you know, depend what it is you're messing up. Obviously, if you're messing up and you completely have a disregard for the regulations of the relationship that you have with her, you know, like say if you're, you know, she said she's monogamous, I expect the same from you. Like follow that. Like obviously don't go and step out on your partner and go have a one night stand. That's obviously going to ruin a relationship. And even if she stays with you for a little bit, it's like women are petty. Like once you've done something bad to them, it's only a matter of time. Like there's nothing like a and it's the upcoming title of another video, but there's no wrath greater than a scorned woman. Like that's the next probably the next video I'm gonna make and release. But I'm just thinking about it. But it's something I wrote down, and it's just like I realized in the times I was being petty, you know, I saw her pettiness come out, you know, because that's what I was. That's the energy that I was, you know, expelling out there into the universe, and I got it back, and I was like, oh, I don't really like that, so let me switch that up. And yeah, that's kind of what I did. And I'm a lot better at catching myself doing it, you know, and stopping before it ever kind of gets to that point. And I'm not perfect, but what I'm saying is just I have a high level of self-awareness, and I'm very open to a lot of different perspectives. As much as I can be opinionated, I love hearing and being exposed to different sides of a story. You know, that is a skill that I have. That's probably one of my best skills, honestly, is being able to like understand or take in or portray many different perspectives of the same story. And that honestly, a lot of the times that's my main message to all of these videos that I make. And so I hope you guys can take this in. And this is a long video. It's about 27 minutes on the dot right now. And it's been a while since I made a long video like this, but I got a lot to talk about. So that's why I'm here. And so yeah, a lot of growth, a lot of pain, all worth it though. And I'm going to continue on this path. I wish for more growth. I pray for more growth. I pray for more pain, because it's going to make me a monster, and like in a good way, in the sense that I'm going to become more knowledgeable, skillful, valuable, and therefore every other area of my life should increase alongside it. Because doesn't that make sense? Or am I an alien and you don't understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Right now I've been working so hard that I'm unshaven. I got my mustache going on. I got the beard and stuff, half beard. Not really fully developed. I probably need to do something about that, but I'm chilling, man. I've been, you know, just on the clock with it, you know, and somewhat content with where life is right now, but I'm shooting for the stars and aiming for the moon, like word to Pop Smoke, R.I.P., you know. But that's the trajectory of what I'm trying to illustrate in this video. And yeah, I just think that, you know, like growth is the most important thing. If you're not continuing to grow every single day, like your woman's going to feel it eventually, and she's going to either call it out, you know, or she's going to disassociate with it. You know, she's either going to, you know, she's either going to there's either going to be some disruption or probably some disassociation, you know, to let you know that, oh, okay, right, yeah, I've been messing up, you know. And when I can look honestly within myself, I'm being like, I know I've been messing up, you know. I know there's a lot more that I could do that I'm not doing right now. So figure out what it is that you want to do and do that. And do it fast, because time is ticking, bro. Like, people getting older, like, priorities are changing. Like, don't play with that. And that's exactly what I knew I had to do, like, instantly, you know. And it hurt a little bit, yeah, but it was required, you know. And we're in a far better place, so I'm grateful for it, you know. And you know, if she watches this video one day, that'll be funny, because actually I have a lot of stories here on my YouTube. This is what this is for. It's just like a time capsule, even for myself. Like when I get rich and I'm looking at this, maybe I'm 25, 30 years old, I don't know, bro, like 35, 40, I'm looking at this, I'd be like, what the hell was I thinking when I was younger? But That's the point. That's what life is. It's always learning. Stay the student and don't ever think you're the master in anything, even if you are really good, because what that's going to do is make you complacent. And I know from experience, and I'll know from more experience, and yeah, yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, man, I'll see you on the next one. Innit?